Sometimes when my wife Jasmine talks to me, I feel a bit like a conversational Indiana Jones. Deep beneath the ancient sands, I'm trying to make out the hieroglyphics that hold the information I need. The secret must be here, I think, frantic. The treasure. For example, let's say she says, whatever. This does not mean a casual whatever, like the whatever one of my guy friends employs when I ask what movie we should watch or where we should grab a bite. When Jasmine says whatever, it means that I have somehow, in some way, failed miserably and that I need to retrace my steps and immediately make further inquiry to determine what I'm repenting for. In this example, I ask what's wrong, and she responds with nothing. What she's really saying is precisely the opposite, that there is indeed something wrong and that I'm in a relational minefield. Explosives are hidden, and I must throw out every possible "is it?" or "did I?" scenario until I hit the mine. Boom. Now, let's say that Jasmine answers, "It's fine." With the correct tonal inflection, this means nothing is fine. Everything has gone to the dogs. The world is about to end. I brace for impact and begin to apologize for anything that comes to mind, including the sins of my childhood. Admittedly, we've been married for only 5 years, and we do still have a ton to learn about communication. But we are learning, slowly. It's not that Jasmine is bad at communicating. She's great. And it's not that I'm bad at listening. But I'm still learning to listen to her. She's not a high-maintenance person, quite the opposite. Our goal is to converse more effectively. Why is that necessary? Because we're different as people. The good news is that difficulty doesn't doom possibility. As my relationship with Jasmine grows, so does my understanding of how she talks. How she expresses herself is not what I'm used to. Okay, buck up, Nathan. Through time spent, understandings and misunderstandings, I've had to unlearn certain meanings of words and tones and learn Jasmine's. And she's had to learn mine. It's taking longer than I had hoped, but it's happening in the context of relationship, and it's clarifying over time. I'm still not perfect, and I still have a long way to go. That process of two becoming one and blending plays out over a lifetime. But in the end, if we're diligent, I'm sure we'll be finishing each other's sandwiches. Here's the point. Conversation grows as we do. Maturity and experience are linked to communication. If Jasmine and I get to our 50th wedding anniversary and we're still exactly where we were at our 5th, something's wrong. Why? Because relationships should grow. There are 2 myths about conversation that bite at the very foundation of hearing God. One is that hearing God is all about me. The other is that it's all about Him. The truth is that it's about both, like any conversation is. If a conversation is all about the will, needs, wants, and life of one person, it's a monologue. Yet that's how many of us think about our conversations with God. Either they're all about us, this kind of crazy focus on me, or they're all about Him, this kind of crazy focus on theology and His will that never considers that we're real people too. Both views are immature on our part. What's the goal in hearing God? Just as in marriage, it's balance. Just as in marriage, it's mutual understanding. Just as in marriage, it's conversation. It's all who you know. Hearing God begins with relationship. Consider the type of revelation John the Apostle had about Jesus and relate that to his proximity to Jesus. John was probably Jesus' best friend. He was the last of the 12 disciples at the cross and the first one at the grave. John took care of Jesus' mother, Mary, after Jesus' death, at Jesus' request. John laid his head on Jesus' breast at the Last Supper. 5 times in his gospel, John calls himself the one whom Jesus loved. It was his identity. And in this gospel, we have the most intimate glimpse of Jesus. About 80% of the material is also unique, telling us things that the other 3 gospels don't. We get an in-depth, transparent picture of Jesus, aside from what we see in the incredible and terrifying book of Revelation, which begins with a vision of Jesus in crazy power and glory.